When people start speedrunning a game, one of the inevitable side effects is that they are going to want to learn as much as they possibly can about how the game works. Players will memorize item locations, map layouts, basic moves, special moves, secret moves, etc, etc. And at some point, if times get lowered enough, runners will even start to dig into the code. In other words, people will start hunting for glitches. And all of this comes from a need to understand the game as comprehensively as possible. Players will study the game, frame by frame, all in the pursuit of trying to save time in the run, even if that time is only a single frame. And one such example is the JJ fight.
Challenge accepted.
We know a lot about JJ. We know all of the various moves he can make, and we figured out his optimal move set. We know that he takes exactly 88 shots to kill, and that the fight actually has 3 phases. The blue phase, of which is 57 shots, the purple phase, which takes 16 shots, and the red phase, which takes 15 shots. But there is a mystery I have yet to solve. That mystery has to do with how JJ's HP is actually stored. Now, most enemies in the game have a specific hex address for their HP. According to the hex documentation I found online, the hex address where JJ's HP is stored is 2BA9. The starting value? 40, which when converted to decimal is 64. 64 HP? But remember that each shot subtracts 1 HP, and yet we can kill JJ in 88 shots. Now trust me, I've counted this a few times to make sure. So obviously the 64 does not refer to the amount of hit points, but then what does it refer to? Well, let's experiment. I'm going to change the hex entry to 01. Now if it is referring to HP, this means that JJ has exactly 1 HP. He should die in 1 shot. Well, that's a strange result. Let's try the opposite. We'll change the value to FF, the highest value you can have in hex. The decimal equivalent is 255. JJ should take much longer to kill. So what is actually going on here? To be honest, I don't really have an answer. I've been experimenting with hex values in this game for a while now, and I have yet to find another hex value relating to JJ's HP besides 2BA9. Now I'm fairly convinced that at least one more must exist. It could be there's another entry for JJ's HP that the game runs a check against to determine JJ's phase. Or it could be that there's 3 separate entries for each phase. The bottom line is that I don't actually know exactly what 2BA9 does in the first place. I've proven that it has an effect on JJ's HP, but also that it can't possibly be his actual HP. Look, this whole thing started because I had a rather abstract idea that maybe there's a way to glitch JJ right past a phase, in a similar way that we can glitch the base 2 boss. But maybe that idea was just too crazy. If you can explain this mystery, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have any other theories or ideas, feel free to share them. I'll keep digging regardless. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. And remember, don't stop shooting.